I bet you didn't know the sun could call in sick. But what if, just for one day, our star decided to hit snooze and take a well-deserved break? Imagine waking up, ready for a bright Tuesday morning on July 15th, 2025. You glance at your clock and it's time to get up. But outside, it's as dark as midnight. You peek through the curtains expecting to see rain clouds, but instead you see a sky filled with stars, clearer than you've ever witnessed. It's a beautiful, yet deeply unsettling sight. This isn't just an overcast day, it's something else entirely. The sun, our solar system's magnificent powerhouse, the very star that has faithfully risen every single day for billions of years, has decided to take an unscheduled day off. It's a cosmic vacation, and we on Earth are about to experience the consequences of its absence firsthand. Now, let's consider this incredible and frankly impossible scenario from a scientific perspective. The sun is a massive, fiery ball of hot gas that generates energy through nuclear fusion in its core. This process releases a tremendous amount of light and heat that travels across the vastness of space to warm our planet, drive our weather, and provide the energy for nearly all life. When we say the sun turns off, we mean that this fusion process has inexplicably paused. All the light and heat it was sending our way has suddenly stopped. This isn't just a switch being flipped, it's the universe's ultimate power cord being unplugged, plunging our world into an unprecedented global experiment. The initial moments would be quite strange, not because of what happens, but because of what happened. For the first 8 minutes and 20 seconds after the sun goes dark, we wouldn't notice a thing here on Earth. Light travels incredibly fast, but space is incredibly big. It takes that long for the last rays of sunlight to complete their 93 million-mile journey from the sun to our planet. So, for a brief period, we would be blissfully unaware, going about our morning routines while the final photons of yesterday's sunshine finished their cosmic commute. It's a fascinating, built-in delay, a final gift of light before the grand darkness descends upon us all. This scenario, of course, is pure science fiction. The sun is a remarkably stable star, and isn't equipped with an on-off switch. It has enough hydrogen fuel in its core to continue shining steadily for another 5 billion years or so. But by imagining this impossible event, we can gain a much deeper appreciation for the delicate balance that makes our world possible. It helps us understand the critical role our star plays in every aspect of our lives, from the warmth on our skin to the food on our plates. So let's put on our thinking caps and explore this chilly, dark, and fascinating hypothetical day without the sun. Consider it, science. After that 8-minute and 20-second grace period, the change would be immediate and dramatic. One moment, the world is bathed in the familiar light of day, the next, it's plunged into a profound darkness. The sky would transform into a breathtaking, star-filled tapestry, more brilliant than any night sky you've ever seen because there would be no scattered sunlight to wash it out. The moon would also vanish from sight as it doesn't produce its own light, it merely reflects the sun's. We'd be left with only the faint, distant glow of other stars and galaxies to illuminate our suddenly darkened planet. It would be a spectacular view, but one that would fill everyone with a deep sense of unease and a very real chill. With the sun's warmth gone, the Earth's temperature would begin to plummet. While our atmosphere is a fantastic insulator, it can't hold on to heat forever without its solar radiator. Scientists estimate that the global average surface temperature would drop to around freezing, 0 degrees Celsius or 32 degrees Fahrenheit, within the first day. This might not sound too extreme, especially for those of us accustomed to cold winters, but remember, this is a global average. Tropical regions that have never experienced frost would suddenly be coated in it. Deserts that are scorching hot during the day would become frigidly cold. The rapid temperature drop would be a massive shock to ecosystems all around the world. The power grids would be put to the ultimate test. With a sudden planet-wide demand for heating and light, electrical systems would likely become overloaded and fail, leading to widespread blackouts. This would compound the problem, leaving billions of people without heat in their homes as the global temperature continues its steady decline. People would need to bundle up in their warmest clothes and rely on fireplaces or other non-electric heat sources to stay warm. The world would feel smaller and more isolated as communication systems reliant on that same power begin to falter. It would be a true test of human ingenuity and resilience. Here's a fun, or perhaps not so fun fact for you. Even though the sun's light is gone, its gravity would remain. Gravity travels at the speed of light, so we would know the sun was still there, holding us in our orbit. If the sun truly vanished, not just went dark, we would fly off into space in a straight line. So, at least we'd still be circling our dark star, staying in our cosmic lane. It's a small comfort perhaps, but a crucial one. We would be cold and in the dark, but we wouldn't be lost in space. We'd simply be on a planet taking a very, very cold and dark 24-hour ride. As the hours tick by, the effects on the natural world would become more and more apparent. Plants, the foundation of most of Earth's ecosystems, would be in serious trouble. Photosynthesis, the process they use to convert sunlight into energy, would grind to a complete halt. For a single day, most larger plants and trees would survive, essentially holding their breath. However, phytoplankton in the oceans, tiny organisms that produce a huge portion of our planet's oxygen, would begin to die off in massive numbers. Their life cycles are short, and without sunlight, they simply cannot survive. The base of the marine food web would be instantly and catastrophically disrupted. Animals would be thoroughly confused. Diurnal creatures, those active during the day, would think it's the longest night of their lives. Many would seek shelter and try to sleep through the event, their internal clocks thrown into disarray. Nocturnal animals might initially thrive in the total darkness, but the rapidly dropping temperatures would soon affect them as well. Birds, which often navigate using the sun's position and the Earth's magnetic field, would be completely lost. We'd likely see them grounded, waiting for a dawn that isn't coming on schedule. The global symphony of animal life would fall silent, replaced by an eerie, cold quiet. For us humans, the psychological impact would be immense. Beyond the immediate survival concerns of staying warm, the complete absence of the sun would be deeply unsettling. Our bodies are tuned to the rhythm of day and night, a cycle known as our circadian rhythm. Disrupting it so completely would affect our mood, our sleep, and our overall sense of well-being. Panic would be a real danger, but so would a shared sense of awe and community. People would likely gather together, sharing resources and stories, looking up at the unfamiliar star-dusted sky, and wondering if the light will ever return. It would be a moment of shared global vulnerability. Surprisingly, the Earth has a secret heat source that would keep us from freezing completely solid. The planet's core is incredibly hot, a remnant from its formation and from the decay of radioactive elements. This geothermal heat constantly radiates outward, warming the deep oceans and the Earth's crust from within. It's not enough to keep the surface toasty, but it would prevent the oceans from freezing solid to the bottom. So, while the surface would be an icy wasteland, life around deep-sea hydrothermal vents would carry on, completely oblivious to the cosmic drama happening above. They don't need the sun at all. Just as despair might begin to set in, after 24 long, cold, and dark hours, the sun would switch back on. Once again, there would be that 8-minute and 20-second delay as the first new rays of light race across the solar system to greet us. Can you imagine that moment? A single point of light would appear on the eastern horizon, growing rapidly into the familiar, brilliant disk of the sun. The return of dawn would be the most celebrated sunrise in human history. A collective, global sigh of relief would be felt as warmth and light began to flood back into the world, chasing the deep cold and darkness away. The recovery process would begin immediately, but it wouldn't be instantaneous. The ice that formed on surfaces in the tropics would start to melt, potentially causing some flooding. Plants would eagerly begin photosynthesis again, though the shock of the cold and dark would have weakened them. Animals would emerge from their shelters, cautiously at first, to bask in the returning warmth. The world would slowly reawaken, like a garden after a long, harsh winter. It would take days, or even weeks for the planet's temperature to stabilize and for the natural rhythms of life to fully reset themselves after such a profound disruption. The experience would leave an indelible mark on humanity. We would have a newfound, deeply personal appreciation for our star. The sun would no longer be something we take for granted, a simple fixture in the sky. We would see it as the life-giving, warmth-providing, essential engine of our world that it truly is. This shared global trauma would likely bring humanity closer together, fostering a new era of cooperation and a greater focus on understanding our place in the universe. We would look at the sun not just with our eyes, but with a profound sense of gratitude and wonder for its unwavering consistency. So, while a day without the sun would be a chilling and challenging ordeal, it ends on a hopeful note. It reminds us that we are part of a vast and incredible cosmic system, and our existence depends on a star 93 million miles away. It's a powerful thought. What would you do during those 24 hours of darkness? Let me know your survival plans in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this little trip to the cold side, be sure to follow or subscribe for more scientific adventures. Stay curious.